Good morning and welcome to your favorite breakfast show, that is Smell the Coffee. And of course, we finally made it to Friday, guys. It's a Friday. We're all looking forward to the weekend and of course, all the Football World Cup dramas. I'm your host, Glenn Rashipura, and pretty soon we will also be joined by my beautiful co-host, Diana Master. But before we get into that, I would just like to get into a food for thought. Today's food for thought is your attitude determines your altitude. I know my teachers used to say this to me almost every day, or to us actually in school. Your attitude determines your altitude. People who tend to be more positive when they deal with setbacks usually excel or do much better in life. People who decide to always show up in a way that can make themselves proud in the future tend to reach for the stars. And it's just a thing that I was pondering on recently, because I think we can get caught up in how we want to complain about things. We want to say, oh no, I don't like how who behaves, or I don't like how this company or what treats me and whatnot. And that is going to determine your altitude, because now you are stuck in the frequency of I'm complaining. I'm not happy with X and Y and Z. And that's the frequency you're going to hold. But when you step into a frequency of gratitude, that's a different altitude. You start to see things differently. Oh, I'm grateful for, the fact that I have friends, what have you. And I'm not saying that you are not allowed to complain and have, quells, but your life can't be, every time somebody has just done you wrong, you're just a victim and, this is just awful. You have to also take responsibility for life. But yeah, so that is our food for thought. On the other side of this break, we will be taking a look, of course, at our Reels of the Day segment.
Namibia is a land of movement, with waves that never stop reaching forward. Here, adventure is not something we search for. It is something we are born into. In every corner of this country, creativity rises, from artists, from athletes, from dreamers. And when the world comes to explore Namibia, they discover something extraordinary. Because when sport moves people, creativity moves ideas, and tourism moves the world toward us. Something powerful happens. A platform where movement meets imagination, where industries connect, where opportunity grows, where Namibia's next chapter begins. Welcome to the Creative Sport Tourism Expo. Exhibit, partner, experience. Creative Sport Tourism.
Okay, so we're getting into our Reels of the Day. Guys, my voice.
Fighting for its life.
I'm fighting for my life, and not in a good way. I'll be back to being a baddie, but for now, I'm currently fighting for my life. Yesterday I attended the Wrong Generation premiere.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the movie itself, I think people got goosebumps when they were in the cinema.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, so basically Wrong Generation is based off of a book written by the producer, Dilo, and it just so happened that her cousin, Shannon Wasserfall, so that inspired Ndilo to then make the movie. You understand?
Oh my word.
So it is based on real events.
Yeah, and also current issues.
Events, yeah. Because remember the Shut It All Down protest? What I liked about the movie is that they put in literal clips from the actual protest.
Yes, I remember that
protest was big, and then we actually got a glimpse of the conversation they had with the head of state, because they had a conversation with the head of state, but it was behind closed doors and of course no cameras. But I think they depicted that in the movie as well,
to show that this is
what happened.
wow. I'm getting goosebumps just hearing, because I remember with the Sharon thing, I was still in high school, right? Shannon, sorry, no, the one before. There was, because remember this is
it's been happening, because Shannon is fairly recent.
Yeah, it's very, very recent. Yeah, I'm confusing the two. But anyways, we went and protested, and we went to clean up like the areas where, you know, sometimes a girl might need to walk there, and you know there's all this like grass and whatnot, and anything can happen to you without anybody seeing it.
Yeah.
So and I remember like we were just like, wow, this is somebody like my age. You get what I'm saying? And this is something we do.
It hits home,
It hits
so close to home, because you're there like, this could be me.
This could be me. This could be my sister. This could be my friend.
Exactly.
And when that reality sinks in, you're just like, wait a minute, this is messed up.
It is very messed up, and you know, it's so sad that we don't feel safe. We recently reported on the story of a woman who was allegedly sexually assaulted and raped by a group of, was it 12 boys? And I say boys because they were boys. These boys are not even 16. I think they're between 15 and 16. I speak under correction. So as a woman, it's so difficult for you to feel safe. It doesn't matter what you wear. And I hate this thing of what was she wearing?
Yeah.
What do you mean, what was she wearing? What was a 6-year-old wearing? What was a 4-year-old wearing? Why should what I wear basically...
Yes.
Like, why should it encourage somebody to have their way with me?
And I hate that that's the conversation. The conversation should be, hey, she said no, or hey, clearly it looks like she's giving you mixed signals here.
Exactly.
Don't go for it.
Exactly.
We are spending too much time telling girls, don't do this, don't wear this,
and
not educating boys and men. Hey, this is not okay.
Because as men, they need discipline. And
it's very few guys that actually can even discipline others. I remember there's this time where I was out somewhere, and then this one guy is like making moves on me, and I'm just like politely turning him down, right? Yeah. Because also the other thing is, we can't also be just straight up, no.
No, you can't.
Because it can turn violent very quickly, especially if I don't know you, I don't know your background. So you have to like politely turn them down. Yeah. But then there was another guy who I was with, and he was just like, no, the girl said she's not interested, like let her. And I was just like, thank you. I wish more men can do that. But
most men don't. Most men don't. There was a day where I was, I think, at Vernhill. And you know, one of these homeless guys is basically trying to, and the security guard and all the guys are just looking.
It's a normal Tuesday.
It's a normal Tuesday. It's business as usual. What happened to our brothers and our fathers protecting us? What happened? Where did that go? Where did that go? Why are the same people that are supposed to protect us the same people hurting us? And I know that right now, because it's June, it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. But then we still cannot erase that this is happening. We still can't erase the issue of femicide. We still can't erase the issue of sexual-based violence. We can't ignore these things, because these things are happening. And most of the times they're happening because of people close to us. Most of these things are happening because the people that we are trusting to protect us are not protecting us, and instead are the ones harming us. It's messed up.
And like you said, like we tend to not deal with the issue head on. And of course, I have to say also the other side does happen. You know, like there are men that are raped, there are men that go through like really horrific things. We're not just saying it's just one gender being assaulted. But I feel like the more we keep on, you know, shoving things under the rug as families, protecting the abusers. You know, oh no, you can't do that. That's your uncle. You can't come out.
Boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys. Or what have you? Do you get what
boys
I'm saying?
Will be boys.
We
but
are
also
normalizing it.
Why were you wearing such a short skirt?
Yes.
Why were you wearing a crop top?
I know a very, very sad story about something similar to that, where this girl, I think she was coming home from something, I think it was a party, what have you. But this happened like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
She's now a woman. But so she goes through the riverbed.
It's the riverbeds. It's always the riverbeds.
It's always the riverbeds. And it was just like a thing of this might be faster, what have
Yeah.
you. And then obviously something happens. She doesn't even see the person's face because they had a knife. She gets home and what do the parents say? Yeah, it's because you're wearing that. And you're coming from who knows where, God
Exactly.
knows. Instead of offering compassion to the victim, we blame the victim. So
Yeah.
that's the thing that we need to stop as a society.
But we also need to stop, like you're saying, because it's not just the one side. We also need to stop this thing of crying wolf. There have been so many instances and cases where people have been falsely accused. There's a story in South Africa of a boy that killed himself because a girl claimed that he raped her. And then, you know, obviously everyone is like, because we are so quick to obviously take the victim side, right? Because again, it's one of those catch-22 situations. Because if you don't believe the victim and it's actually true, then you've protected a raper,
Yes.
a rapist. If you take the rapist side, why are you even taking the rapist side? So everybody was so quick to side with her. Everyone was so quick to, you know, bash this boy.
Proper investigations were not even, I think, thoroughly done.
They hadn't started.
They hadn't even started.
This
yeah.
girl just claimed that this boy raped her.
And people took sides.
And then people immediately, you know, ran to the victim. Oh, we are so sorry. We're so sorry. Only after this boy died
Did she come out?
did
I
she
remember
come
that
out
story,
and say,
yeah.
oh, no, he actually didn't. Why would you even say that? Why would you even accuse someone of something like that? That is also so messed up. It's one of those things whereby it's like, did you think this is going to make you social media famous or what? Why are you ruining someone else's life? You understand? So this is why we are saying we are not just taking people, like, this is something that is happening. And it can happen to anyone. You
Male or
understand?
female?
Male or female.
You
It
know
can
the
happen to
number
anyone.
of... I was doing a documentary, right before COVID. So I had to go look at like stats, right?
Yeah.
And then I was talking to this police officer and she was just like saying like, oh no, male abuse does happen. Whether
does.
it's either male on male or female on male abuse that happens. It's just it's not reported because there's a lot of shame.
There's a lot of shame.
Yeah,
and
society would be
also-
like, oh, you let her beat you. You know
That's
what I mean?
the thing. There was a story that I read, I think it was a Namibian Sun, where this guy went to go report the domestic violence, and then they said, so you really let her beat you. You understand? It's that whole thing of, as a man, why are you letting a woman
Yes.
beat you? You understand? But then
I'll
if this
never-
man...
I'll never let
nowadays
a
is-
woman disrespect me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know, so even when you go and report the case, most of the times I won't even believe you.
Or just the stigma around
just
that.
the stigma
You don't
around
want to
it.
deal with it.
So yeah, it's a lot to deal with, honestly. I think if we're all just nice to each other, guys, if we're all just respectful of people's boundaries, no means no, if we stop feeling entitled, because a lot of us feel entitled, like, oh, but I bought you this one drink in the club, so now you're coming home with me. Or, you know, because I paid you tuition, that tuition story really ruffles feathers. One of our editors called me in and said, you guys need to talk about this on Smell the Coffee.
Tell me about the tuition story.
He said, you women, these were his words, you women, you get a man to pay your tuition fees. And then after you graduate, suddenly he's not your type anymore. Why do you guys do that? And then I said, you cannot say, why do you guys do that? Because it's not like all of us are doing that.
Yeah.
First of all, there's NASFAF. We won't get into the NASFAF story. I know NASFAF right now, it's a touchy subject. I apologize. But
Yeah.
I was like, a lot of the times, it's not necessarily that these girls, I don't think they ask and say, hi, can you please pay my tuition? I feel like sometimes this guy, because he really loves this girl, he
does
offers.
it. Yes, he does it. I do know the whole, what you're talking about. Like, I think he was a truck driver. I'm not so sure.
Yeah.
Truck driver. And I don't think he was a taxi driver. I think he was a truck driver. So he will sacrifice, his pay, whatever, to get this girl into school. And it's things like he will pay her her tuition, but then she was not from Windhoek, so he had to pay accommodation. So she's living closer to campus. She has a good, give her pocket money. She needs to whatever, a nice handbag, so she needs a school, what is it? She needs a school laptop. She needs all these things. He was there. You can, like, I was there, literally, for your education. Like, and then she graduates, she gets a job, and then now she's dating I don't like to use the word class because I think it's very wrong to look at the world through that lens, but in this case, she was just like, yeah, so now I'm attracting men of a different class.
Oh.
So this is not going to work for me. I'm embarrassed to be seen by you, with you. Like, you're just a truck driver. Like, it was that. But so I kind of see, I also see it from the other side, from the men's perspective.
But then this is why I say, just do your things on your own. If I'm being honest, right? Like, the problem is, you know that you're just using this person. So don't let them do those things for you, because then tomorrow they're going to turn around and say, if it weren't for me, you wouldn't be where you are right now.
Unless you genuinely were in love with him during that period. But you're right, like...
I say just say no. Because then again, even if you guys are like in love, cool, you think nothing could absolutely go wrong. I would still say there needs to come a point where you're like, okay, this is too much. Like, you're doing too much now. This is why they say, givers will always give and takers don't have a limit. Takers will always take.
They can't stop themselves.
They can't stop. But then at some point you need to stop, because then now this person feels entitled to you and to your life. Because they're like, I made you what you are. You understand? It's the same thing as people that go on trips. These guys that get women and take them on trips. And I know this one is going to get us cancelled probably, and I know people are going to be angry in the comments. It's okay, guys. This is my opinion. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I was saying to my friend, there's a guy that invited me out for a trip. And then I said, but you do understand that nothing is going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. I'm like, no.
For real?
For real. I am celibate. Nothing is going to happen. And he's like, it's okay. Cool. We're on the trip. Sharp. Then obviously, homeboy starts expecting something. I'm like, whoa. Remember we had this discussion prior. Luckily for me, he's somebody that's very respectful, very much like, oh, okay, you know what, it's cool. He didn't really try to force.
But also that, like, this is what we're talking about at the beginning. That was a clear no. We already, manage expectations. Before we even do this thing, like, dude, we're going to go on this thing, but I'm not, like, don't expect anything. And yet when we get there, you still expect something. And some women might feel coerced, because now I'm like, I'm in Valvers or whatever, I don't have money to go back to Windhoek. I don't have this and this and this. And he did so much for me. He took me shopping. Maybe I should just, but that's not,
it's not voluntary. This is coercion. And this is why I say, once you have that discussion, right, like you say, have that discussion prior. I had this discussion beforehand, and I said, if you are expecting something, you might as well not book the trip. You might as well. I was very clear, very much like, you might as well not book the trip. But then also people have this thing of, but I'm different. You know, like, I'm different. So anyway, so now when I was telling my friend the whole deal, and he said to me, you know what, that's the problem with us guys. We think we are the one guy that can convince you to change your mind otherwise. He's known that even beforehand, you don't do this. But for him, he thought, I'm the exception. You know? And obviously,
it's about his ego. It's about his ego.
And it's that thing, like you're saying, I brought her this far, so the least she has to do is, you know, and it's like, no, that's not what I have to do. And I already told you from the beginning, don't book this trip if this is what you're expecting. Now, unfortunately, a lot of times people go on these trips and they don't have these discussions prior. So now you get to whatever, you get to Strand Hotel and it's one bed there. So I mean, what do you think is going to happen? That's why I always say, don't go on these trips.
Unless you have your own bag, like, you know what I mean? Like, sure, you flew me to Cape Town, but hey, if anything goes wrong, I can, pay my way back.
This is why
I
I
can
never
afford.
travel without my own money.
Like, I can afford to,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Oh, you want this, or you trying to coerce me into doing things I don't want. Oh, you know what?
I'ma leave.
Let
It's
me
cool.
just book that ticket.
Yeah, and go back.
And go back home. So once you don't have anything to fall back on, rather stay home. It's fine.
Rather,
it's
you
chilled.
don't need to go to Cape Town. You don't need to go to Dubai just because Glenora went to Dubai. This is what is killing us. It's the social media pressure, because you want to post and show people that, yeah, even me, I was also in Dubai. And that's not necessary.
Yeah.
Have these discussions beforehand. Tell people, listen, this is not what's going to happen. I don't like this.
And
So-
this is not what's going to happen.
And be content, be satisfied. Tell yourself, okay, you know what, I'm not going to die just because I didn't get a trip to Cape Town. But hey, if you are willing to,
Nonetheless, I think we have spoken about this topic
extensively.
but it does need to be talked about extensively. We're not
Yeah.
even diminishing it. We're just running out of time. I think we can just get into the story. This is just something lighthearted to just, what's at the morning. So let's take a look at what happened in Florida, where a woman was arrested. And of course, it's always Florida.
This Florida woman is being called a criminal by some and a hero by others. You decide. So check el dato. In Florida, she pulled up and pretended to be a Costco employee and started out handing samples. But samples of puro tequila, compadre. To kick off the weekend. Yes, tequila, sas. Next thing you know, the manager noticed something was wrong because people started getting a little too lit to handle it and started chanting, shot, 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 shot. Everybody! You know the rest. Manager pulls up, police pulls up, they arrest this sweet woman right here. And on her way out of the Costco store, she yelled, "Who wants a second round?" Is she a criminal or a hero? Comment below. Dímelo.
Hero.
Hero.
Definitely a hero.
Please, we need brave souls here in Namibia to also do the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
actually, what are people smoking or inhaling in Florida?
Florida is one of those places. I actually do want to visit Florida because I feel like I'd get there and I'll feel like I've been transported to another planet. Because
Yes.
it's always Florida.
It's always Florida.
Why is it always Florida?
Like, there was this guy who was breaking into people's homes to tickle them. I think we need to do that story. We'll do
I
that
remember
story.
we did that
We did it
story.
to tickle. It
Yeah.
was in Florida.
Yeah.
Like any bizarre something, it's always Florida, guys.
It's usually Florida. I don't know what happens in Florida or why it happens the way it happens, but this is why you and I need to take a quick trip to Florida. Just
We
to
need
see.
a quick trip, and then
Just to see.
we'll report back and be like, "Oh, guys, it's actually the water they drink, or
Yeah,
it's the
in
air."
I think it's in the water. It's probably in the water. Or it's in
Because
the
we
air.
went crazy as well while we were there. You know what I mean? Definitely, we definitely need a trip to Florida. We need to actually do more things. Actually, women, I like to say. I'm saying, I know it's Men's Mental Health Month and whatnot, but I'm talking to the women right now. Do something for yourself.
Yeah.
Please, in
Do
this
something
one
for you.
lifetime, always, I'm not trying to say like be selfish and whatnot, but try to, and also with your own money. Like, there's something so beautiful about enjoying.
Knowing it doesn't come attached with conditions,
Yes.
knowing that there's no pressure, knowing that there's no expectations. This is my money. I got myself here. That's what I was saying about my phone, where it's like, okay, I didn't buy my phone, but there's just that thing of I didn't have to sacrifice or compromise my morals to get this thing. There's just something so beautiful about that.
And also, the more you chip away at your morals, right? Like, think of it like, oh, I do this thing, I'm not so comfortable with it, and then I do it again. And the more you normalize it, and then that becomes your identity. So you shift from this is what you're supposed to be, a high achiever, what, and now you shift to this person who somebody needs to tell them, hey, I don't like the way you dress, I don't like, what. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you choose who you are going to be in life.
Exactly. And on that note, we have unfortunately run out of time. Thank you so much for joining us on Smile the Coffee this morning. We'll catch you guys again on Monday, same time, same place.
Ciao.